Well, hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee, and I am going to make sauerkraut today. All this cabbage I've got like 13 pounds of it, and it come out of my garden. I was so impressed. I am going to also mix the red and green cabbage, so my sauerkraut will probably be a beautiful hot pink color. But that's what we're going to do today, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, friends, now I know my canner's going. I've been canning all day. So, anyway, I'm just going to cut up my cabbage, just like so. And I'm going to take the core out, and I'll show you how easy that is to do. And I just cut it in quarters, and then I cut the core out just like that. My chickens will love that. And then like this piece here, I got that little bad piece, I'll just cut that off because you don't want any bad pieces or anything else that might be bad on your cabbage. So that is all I do. And then you can use a, let's see, I got a little spot on this right here. You can use a food processor or whatever you choose to use, but all I do is I just cut mine real thin. I just start cutting it and I just cut it real thin. So it's going to take me a little bit because I like it thin like that. I don't use my food processor. So I'm going to get all this cut up. That's all I do right there. I'm going to get all this cut up and then I'll bring you back and I'll show you our next step. Okay, friends, we've got all our cabbage chopped up. Nice thin shards. So with that, I got my food grade bucket here, and I've got my salt and of course my tablespoon. And that's all we're going to need. Okay? So I'm going to start out with this. I've got the red and green, and I'm just leaving it all mixed like that. But I'm going to put, probably a couple pounds worth. I've got 13 pounds here, so I'm going to put a nice little bunch down in here. Okay. Got that down there. Now I'm going to take a good tablespoon of salt. Maybe a tablespoon and a half. And I'm going to put it in there. And I'm just going to start smashing it. And I'll show you as I'm going to smash it up a little bit, and I'm just going to let it set for about 5 minutes or so until it starts to wilt. Now you can use a pounder on this if you want, or you can just massage it with your hands. Either way. Okay. I'm going to let that sit in there now. And I'm just going to let that, see how I got it? I just mixed it up and I just squeeze it. You just squeeze it. See that? Or you can pound it. The juice is starting to flow out of there, so I'm just gonna, and that don't belong in there. I'm just going to let it go for about 5 minutes to wilt down, and then I'll come back in and I'll start massaging it some more. Okay, friends, you can see this is set for about 5 minutes, and you can see maybe you can see the juice in there, but it's getting pretty juicy. So now I'm going to put another bunch in there and keep working my way till I get it all worked up. And with my bunch, I've got 13 pounds, no, 12 pounds of cabbage all chopped up. So I'm going to only want to use about 6 or 7 tablespoons of salt. And this is according to the recipe from the Ball Blue Book. So we got that. If you like it saltier, you could probably add a little more salt. So, that's all I do. Get in there, get it mixed up, and just start massaging it. You just want to bruise it and get the juices flowing. The salt will help do that, bring the moisture out of it, it'll wilt, and that's what you want. So when I get this all layered up like this in this bucket and all massaged down, I'll bring you back and I'll show you how it's going to look. Okay, friends, you can see my brine down in there. Oh, it looks good. Well, when I got done, I mashed that for a while with my hands, and oh my gosh, you do this until your hands feel like they're going to fall off. But anyway, I wound up finishing it. I pounded it down with my pastry rolling pin. So, and it worked beautifully. But you can see all the brine I got in there. And I've got it pushed down about as tight as I possibly can get it. So I just go along the edges and make sure there's, no big gobs of cabbage up on the edge of my bucket. Okay? So now I'm going to put this plate in there. And look at all that air coming out. I'm going to push it as hard as you can without busting your plate, of course. But push it down in there because you want at least an inch of brine. According to this recipe, you want at least an inch of brine over that cabbage, sauerkraut. And then all I got is a quart jar of water for my weight. So that should do really good. Now I'm going to put this, I got my plastic lid that goes to this bucket. I'm going to put that on it, but I'm not going to snap it down tight. And I'm going to put a towel over everything. And I'm going to store this in my basement because my basement is between 65 and 70. And the recipe said you need to store it 65 to 70 degrees for 3 to 6 weeks. And then every day they want you to check it and skim any scum that's formed off in the top of it. So that is what we will do. And in 3 to 6 weeks, I will, we'll do a part 2 on this video, and I will show you the rest of the recipe. And I plan on canning this so that it's shelf stable in my pantry. So I will see you in about 3 to 6 weeks with a part 2 of this video. And in the meantime, thanks for watching, and y'all have a good night.